Good evening. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Calimesa City Council, Monday, July 15th. It is now 6 p.m. and we will go on from there. Darlene, could you call roll call, please?
Sure. Councilmember Cervantes.
Here.
Councilmember Manley.
Here.
Councilmember Molina.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hewitt.
Here.
Mayor Davis.
I'm here. And then we have our city manager, Coble, city attorney, Barrow, city clerk, Gertis, finance director, Reed, planning director, Lucia. Where are we at? Public works director, Monson. All right. And then city engineer, Thornton, fire chief, O'Connell, and our new sheriff, Captain Northrup. Huh?
Well, standing by for him will be Lieutenant E.M.C. Smith.
Well, I blow it all the time anyway,
Yeah.
so.
That's perfectly fine.
Since I make mistakes, I'm going to let you lead us in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I apologize and thank you. This is not on the agenda, but we're going to go around that a little bit, and Tim has got a presentation.
Mayor and Council, thank you. So a few weeks ago, I talked about filling our one of our final strategic objectives of filling our 3rd Battalion Chief's position and going through hiring, vetting backgrounds and whatnot. I'd like to introduce to Council tonight Battalion Chief Jesse Quinalty. Have Jesse come up. Jesse's a 27-plus year veteran of the fire service. Started out in 29 Palms, served the city of Upland, and he served for the San Bernardino County Fire Department, Fire District. He's also an entrepreneur of sorts. He's a widely recognized fire service instructor, instructing throughout the state and across the United States. Very widely recognized and sought after. He's a blessing for our department and for our city. I'm going to come up. I'm going to have his daughter, Loria. I'm going to invite Loria to come up. Jesse's wife, Katie. Son Riley's here, and Loria. And traditionally, we're going to have Loria pin Battalion Chief Quinalty and place his badge on his shirt. Riley got to do it when Jesse was promoted to captain back in the day. Probably not much older than Loria, right? So, Loria, you want to put your badge on Daddy? All right. Awesome. So we'll now swear Jesse in. So Jesse, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations.
Can I get you to hand the council? They always like that. Thank you, family. Okay, with that, we'll go on to communications from the public. And I've got, Scott Barrett? Barrett? I got close.
Chief, could you come up here? I need your help, please. My name's Scott Barrett, and I am a sales representative
Yeah.
for a company called Republic Fire Equipment. And among other brands, we represent Suffolk Corporation, which you have two beautiful examples out there. And so just wanted to take this a moment to thank you and the community and the fire chief and the fire department for
No, we should be thanking the company you work for and you for everything you've done to help us.
Well, it's been our pleasure, and it's been an incredible experience getting to know Chief O'Connell and Captain Vega, Captain Gonzalez, all the great people that you have on this fire department. I'm a career firefighter, now retired, but you've got some great people here, very impressive.
We're proud of them.
The leadership and detail that they put into this project is incredible.
Yeah.
They're all my friends now, and I hope you'll be my friends too. So, in recognition, I have 7 books and challenge points. There's 8 people out here, so you get to be on the side. I'll start with the mayor pro tem. And the first item is a book. If you're a historian, it's the history of the Suffolk Fire Apparatus Company.
Thank you.
And they are one of the only still family-owned fire truck companies that are now under their 5th generation of family members, still running it. Only 1% of American family-owned companies make it to the 3rd generation. So
Yeah.
they made it to the 5th generation. That tells you something about the people. And anyway, I won't go on any longer, but I thank you all for supporting the fire department and the community. I'm supremely confident this apparatus has served the community for many, many decades. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for communications from the public. Can I get somebody to approve the agenda and the consent calendar and all the good stuff?
Yep, if no one has anything to pull.
I do.
Okay, good.
Yes, I'd like to move to approve the agenda, consent calendar, and waiver of full reading of ordinances, but I'd like to pull item number 4. So I'd like to move to approve items 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I'll second.
And so, Mayor, before we vote, now that we have a second, I'll read the title of ordinance number 402, an ordinance of the City of Calimesa, California, amending the requirements for the abatement of weeds and flammable vegetation within the city and amending the Calimesa Municipal Code. So at this time, it'd be appropriate to take a vote.
Was that the item you wanted to pull, Linda?
No, item 4.
No,
Right.
4.
Thought it was full.
Yeah.
Typically, we read the title at the first reading, but you have your choice between the first and second reading. So we're doing it now in connection with the second reading. So that's still on the consent calendar.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, what about it?
Okay, so item number 4 has to do with council travel, training, and meeting mileage expenses, and I have exceeded my budget for travel, and so I'm beholding to the rest of you to support me in continuing with some funds for the rest of the year. I've been busy.
the rest of the year.
Well, we just started.
So just to
Yeah.
clarify, Councilmember Molina, this report is through June 30th, 2024. So
Okay.
this is covering the old fiscal
The
year.
old.
So the next report will start with new
Oh,
funding.
fresh. Oh, so
Yeah.
then I can just let it go? Thank you. I'm so sorry. Then I'll make the motion to approve item number 4.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Chamber of Commerce report.
Well, thank you, council. I appreciate the opportunity to share. You guys have not let me down the last few months on stuff going on around this city. Kind of exciting. New fire equipment, all the stuff that's been going on. Just love it. Our chamber was actually dark for meetings and the breakfast for July. But we are in August having our breakfast meeting and our guest speaker is Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. Breakfast will be held at the Haas Bistro, which Councilman Jeff asked me, they don't serve breakfast, do they? Well, they do for the chamber.
Yeah.
So that's August 13th, 7:30 in the morning. Tickets are still available at the chamber website, but they are very limited. We are close to sold out. So if you'd like to attend this, please go on the website and get your tickets. Our September meeting will also be at the Haas Bistro because State Senator Rosalicia Ochoa Bo will be our guest speaker. And so that will be a buy ticket breakfast, and it'll be served by on September 10th at 7:30 in the morning. Our Welcome Bag program is in full swing. We have received a lot of additional items to put in the welcome bag, and we are about to deliver 50 bags in the next couple of weeks to new homeowners in the community. The State of the City, as you're aware, the 2024 Calimesa State of the City Luncheon is scheduled for September 26th and will be held at the Plantation of the Lake Recreation Hall. Our executive assistant and President Shay Choi are working with city staff, Darlene and others, to ensure another successful event. We have 2 new members join this month, and we have 6 membership renewals, which brings us to a total of 138 now members. Any questions?
You're doing good, Tony.
Yeah, keep it short, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Tony.
Okay, we'll go on to public hearings. We have a few. Item number 14, special assessments, delinquent refuse fees. Arlene?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. This is our annual public hearing for delinquent refuse or trash fees through CR&R. Due to the need for the city to be in compliance with AB 939, mandatory trash collection has been implemented citywide. In 1996, the City of Calimesa entered into agreement with Cherry Valley Sanitation Service, which later became CR&R. On November 1st, 2003 is when that happened. And as far as our code goes, a collection of solid waste delinquent account liens on the real property, we are able to assess those to their property by approval of the City Council. So the public hearing was set at our June 3rd meeting for tonight, and we have 152 accounts this year that are delinquent. They had until 5:30 today to make their payments to CR&R, so some of these on the list could change. I do already have 2 that I will be removing from the list as they came in and made their payments. So there may be others. So before I send anything to the county, CR&R sends me a final list of anyone that has made those payments through today, or even through before I send it to the county. So we will remove those for anybody that has made their payments. And with that, I have answered it. Any questions?
No question.
Okay. There's nobody here from CNR.
Yes.
Are they? Oh, there they are. Would you like to say anything, or you don't have to? Oh, you're on my side now.
So, Mr. Mayor, we just need to adopt the resolution.
Yeah. Can I get somebody to make
Yeah,
a
I can
motion?
move to adopt Resolution 2024-43, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Calimesa, California, confirming the report of charges to be placed as special assessments for delinquent refuge fees.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I neglected to ask for public testimony because we don't have anybody asking for it, so,
I did not have any speakers.
yeah. Okay. Public hearing, special assessment for weed abatement charges. This here's too?
Yes, sir. And this one, I'm actually asking if we can continue this to the August 5th meeting. We were a little behind in getting a lot of our inspections done and being able to notify the residents in the appropriate amount of time that the ordinance requires. So we need a little more time, and the August 5th meeting will still allow us to get everything to the county on time. So I just need you to continue this to August 5th.
Any objections?
No objections.
You
Need a
got it.
motion?
Yes, Mayor, the motion should be to open up the public hearing.
Okay, I will open up the public hearing. Thank you.
Now you can make the motion to continue.
And I will make a motion to continue. Okay. The second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'd like to open up the public hearing. Let's see, for approval of a final annual engineer's report for the City of Calimesa citywide landscape.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On June 17th, Council received the annual report and set tonight as the date for the public hearing. No increases in assessments are proposed, therefore we do not have to do any hearings, notice of hearing, or ballots to send out to the residents. This year's assessment is the same as last year's and every year since it was originally established in 1991, $21.50. We'll be assessing 4,471 parcels for a total revenue of $108,627.94. I'm here to answer any questions the council may have. Also, Lynn Gruber is here. That's the end of my report.
Not much to discuss there.
You said it all. Thank you, Mike. Okay.
We adopt, yeah, want me to make a motion here?
Well, I don't have
Or
any
we close it?
any public testimony, so we'll skip that part and go ahead and close the public hearing and go ahead and make a motion.
I'll move to adopt resolution number 2024-45, resolution of the City Council, the City of Calimesa, to approve the final engineer's report for landscaping and lighting maintenance district number 91-1 for fiscal year 2024-2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're out of that group and we'll go on to business items. City of Calimasa, City of Yucaipa Fire Department 2024 automatic agreement update. Tim.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. So tonight, before you, we bring the City of Calimesa and City of Yucaipa Fire Department 2024 Automatic Aid Agreement Update with a recommendation that we approve this agreement. Going into the background, the cities of Calimesa and Yucaipa currently share an extended or an executed automatic aid agreement, which is limited to fire, structural fire, and vegetation fire responses. The terms of the agreement going forward should include automatic aid responses for emergency medical and rescue incidents, taking a full-service, all-hazards approach to how the two cities do business. The cities of Calimesa and Yucaipa have many commonalities as it relates to the border, which you know along the county line corridor. I should have included the I-10 corridor as well in that. Both cities have experienced significant growth and are challenged to provide increased infrastructure programs and services to include emergency fire rescue and emergency pre-hospital care services. The thing is, these challenges are not unlike the numerous other metropolitan cities in Southern California, to include the rest of Riverside and San Bernardino County. We're all challenged to provide a timely response using a recognized standard of automatic aid to drastically reduce our reflex times. And what's at issue here is the reflex time. We want to take the state recognized through fire scope, and the rest of the industry standard is a closest resource concept. And to make sure the closest available resource gets to those in need. Our population and our building density in the communities continue to expand, as you can see just driving around. Our resources need to be channeled. They need to be distributed and concentrated in areas of need and focus, and remain reliable. And we need to remain reliable, provide reliable service in a fiscally responsible manner, which multiplies our critical assets and avoids developing competing counterproductive interest. The terms of this agreement and the AOP, both fire chiefs will annually analyze and adjust response patterns contained in the AOP, which is attachment B with this agenda item, and will ensure relevant, reliable service needs are met by both communities. Stated the fiscal impact, it's anticipated the agreement will be cost neutral over time, that it'll be reciprocal when needed. Now, we had a fire today, and I'm going to be really honest about that fire today. It's within our local response area, and we did not get the most available unit to knowledge. We got units, but this agreement ensures that we get the local closest unit responding for the type of incident that we need, and this agreement cleans those things up, and it gives the Yucaipa Fire Chief, Grant Malinowski, and I the ability to coordinate, communicate, collaborate to best serve our communities. So with that, that's the end of my report, pending any of your questions.
Dispatch. The cost is a neutral thing, right?
For the terms of this agreement, it is. And our dispatch, explain a little further. We're currently serviced through a dispatch services agreement with Riverside County, CAL FIRE through the Paris Command Center. The terms of this agreement doesn't change that. I've explored other alternatives because it sometimes is untimely and expensive.
We've bought a lot of dinners.
A lot. But this drops the boundary, so to speak, and cleans things up with our what's called CAD to CAD, computer-aided dispatch, with the progress and improvements with that system. Our CAD speak CAD to CAD. The counties and the County Fire Chiefs Associations have been trying to work through cleaning that up. So systems recognize systems, and we can get units where we need them without delay.
So we're in tune communication-wise with the radios, everything?
We're working on the radios, yes. The radios, the common radio plans, the communications devices in the units being a mobile data terminal, which was one of the consent items tonight, that we're upgrading a few of those, coming down the road with some of the infrastructure increase or adjustments and improvements with we'll talk about tablet command coming before you probably in the next several council meetings. Improvements are being made so we can see each other on portable devices, and we can take delay out and hopefully get the closest resource to the nearest emergency. with the smallest amount of delay. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes. I have a few questions, but in the end, it's all about keeping our public safe. So I
That's the
like
end
to see
product.
us work together. I would like to see us all work together in the past, if that would be possible, but I don't know how that will look. But there was a rumor, well, somebody said there's a rumor that you're going to be helping Beaumont out with their fire.
So it's not funny that you bring that up, but in the recent past several days, if not weeks, I also had been apprised of that potential, specifically that we were going to place our ladder truck in a new Riverside County fire station. I think that's what you're alluding to, and all I can tell you is I heard it. I heard it on my end through our staff. I did my due diligence. I believe it was an erroneous, not mean-spirited, but an erroneous, adolescent type of conversation that probably grew legs and got out of control. I don't think there was anything to it, but it spread like wildfire.
Rumors, the city is that way too, so.
There's
Sometimes.
a lot of rumors
Yeah.
going
It's
around
not-
about
it's not-
everything. So
I-
they
I-
just bring them to me and go, "Hey, is this true?" And I go, "I don't know. I'll
I
find
had
out." So-
our staff was sideways. What do you mean we're putting our ladder truck in the new station of blah, blah, blah? And it's like, no, that's, just hold your horses. There's no accuracy. We have not had that discussion, one thing at a time.
I don't mind helping people out, and I hope you guys all agree with that. I think
Well, this is
I would
something
like
that,
to see us all get along and try to help each other out, but
Well, I can tell you because he's sitting here, I've spent a lot of time with Chief Malinowski over the past several years. Patches and uniforms and even color of apparatus should have no bearing on how we help the public.
right.
Unfortunately, other things get in the way, and we have to go through the municipal civic process to make things work, and here we are tonight. I think this is a very significant step forward.
I was shocked seeing him sit there. Last time I seen him was at their little office there, and Ron told me what a nice guy he was, and I got treated like a bastard child, so I just, I'm just glad to see that everybody is working together,
We're certainly trying
Yeah.
on both sides.
because we are here to help you as much as I was told, why do you need to come over here? I said I would go over and help anybody if they needed it. So, this is a safety thing, and I really want to see this happen. The one, go ahead.
No, it starts here. It starts.
Yeah. The only thing I would like to see is how it works out cost-wise and everything else back and forth on usage and working together, just so I know how bad we're hurting them or vice versa.
We'll track that. I will, in my monthly updates, specify with percentages and specific calls. We'll track that very well, and I'll come back to council with that on my monthly report.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, do we get, that's about it, I guess.
Thank you.
Then, Mr. Mann, you want to get up here and talk? We have the city manager of Yucaipa, Chris Mann.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Chris Mann, City Manager for the City of Yucaipa. I was really hoping I could make it this evening to the ceremony you had to push the truck into the station. That's really a monumental occasion. I've heard that you guys really negotiated a heck of a deal on that truck. I didn't realize the deal was because it came without an engine. You had to push it from place to place.
Yeah.
And in this economy, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, we have a few horses too.
Yeah, but that it is nice to be back in a place where, at least according to the News Mirror, the city has a surplus in your budget. So, Yucaipa hopes to be back there again.
I'm
at
sure
some
he
point
will.
in the near future. Yeah. Although I will say, over the past maybe 6 months or so in Yucaipa, we've been wondering where our homeless population has gone. And coming into town this evening, it's evident that the city of Calimesa has stolen them.
We were wondering that too.
But that's okay. No hard feelings there. Chief Malinowski and I are here this evening to lend our support to this item. I want to thank the mayor and the council and City Manager Okolbo and Chief O'Connell, really, and thank Chief O'Connell and Chief Malinowski for the work they've done on this. You know, I started in Yucaipa in March of last year, and not long after I started, Chief O'Connell reached out to me and we sat down and had a conversation, and this was one of the first things that he brought up to me, is that we really needed to revisit this auto aid agreement, and I couldn't agree more. Before I came to Yucaipa, I was city manager in the city of Canyon Lake, and we went through the process of starting our own fire department. And so I am a big believer that each city has the right to decide how the provision of services are done in your city, what makes the most sense for your community, and I admire what you have done here, and I want you to know that you have the full support of the city of Yucaipa. It is right that we are moving to a model of the closest available resource responds, regardless of political boundaries. This agreement will benefit residents of both Calimesa and Yucaipa, and it will save lives. And we are fully supportive of it. I don't need to tell you this, but I want to say you guys really have top-notch staff. Really appreciate working with Will, with Chief O'Connell. Really a pleasure to work with. And today is a big day for the relationship between our two cities, and I hope this is the beginning of much more collaboration moving forward. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief, you got anything to say? If you want.
No, not really. No, just like Chief O'Connell said, closest, most appropriate resource is always going to be what we're going to aim for. So
Yeah.
what's in the best interest of the public. They don't care who shows up. They don't care what color the fire truck is, what color the uniforms are.
Thank you.
Paramedics, firefighter's a firefighter, and that's all they really care
Yeah.
about. So it's going to be a blur to them, and we're there to make their worst day just a little bit better. So, nope, looking forward to the collaborative effort to better the public.
I am too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's, can I get a motion? Or there is no motion?
No.
Pardon me? Okay.
I move that we approve the agreement.
I'll
Get a
second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Appointment of one council member to serve as a subcommittee member.
That'll be mine. Before you leave, Chris, I just want to say, our city engineer and I had a meeting with your staff today, and we actually were talking about that earlier, about how we feel like the communication and collaboration between the cities has really improved. So I just wanted to say we really appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Along those lines, if you are looking for a place to park your truck, we have some garage space.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, on item 18, as you recall, the City Council approved the establishment of the Citizen Recognition Program. The consideration of an appointment to the Subcommittee for Citizen Recognition was previously heard by the City Council on June 3rd. However, after public comments by Parks, Trails, and Community Services Commissioner Howard Reeves, the City Council requested that this item be brought back at a later time after discussions with the full Parks, Trails, and Community Services Commission. The Commission believes that the time and effort required for the citizen recognition review process will not take a significant amount of time, so their recommendation continues to be to assign one member of the City Council to the recognition subcommittee. Staff concurs with the Commission's recommendation, so we are recommending that the City Council appoint one of its members to serve on the subcommittee for citizen recognition. That completes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
How many things are there?
There are 3 categories, but there could be years where we get several in each category, and there could be years that we don't get any.
Well, it's I talked to somebody and they made it sound like you were approving the Lights Award, Christmas Lights Award, all kinds of other different awards. And
No, that will be, those are separate programs that will have a separate criteria. This is specific to the 3 categories that were approved as part of the citizen recognition program, where some of these individuals or groups are nominated in the specific categories, and then the committee reviews and then makes a selection.
Okay.
Do we know approximately how many meetings there will be?
I would imagine that the way it would probably work is we would, provide, after the nomination period closes, we provide each member with copies. You would review them at your leisure and maybe meet for, I don't know, probably maybe an hour, hour and a half to discuss it with the other committee members and make your selections. So that's probably the extent of the time commitment.
Now,
Thank
the
you.
committee members, I mean, they have a committee for this already, or?
No, so the committee is going to consist of 2 members of the Parks, Trails, and Community Services Commission and 1 member of the City Council. So whoever is selected tonight would join that committee. Darlene, do you know if there were any selections made for the commission yet? So they may not have made their selections yet. So
Is this going to be a multi-year appointment, or we going to take this on a year-by-year basis?
I would say year by year.
Year by year?
yeah, I would say
Okay.
year by year.
Yeah.
Anybody want to do it?
I spoke with Mr. Reeves today. He usually comes to the meetings to talk about these things, as he's very supportive of it. And he was hospitalized recently, and so he wasn't able to come. But there was some issue about, he was trying to make it easier for getting the process done. He just wants to get the recognition process done and recognize people. So I think it's a great idea. He had some issues about doing it a different way, but I think it's all been resolved.
Yeah, I think he wanted to have several council members appointed, 1 for each category. But like I said, I think that, understanding what the process is and what the program's about, it seems that and I think you also want to have consistency too among, how each program is reviewed. But we don't anticipate there's going to be a significant amount. I mean, there might be the first year, there might be a little more than there normally would be because it's new. But I think over time it's probably going to be maybe a handful, if that, for all 3 categories combined in any given year.
I would like to volunteer if no one else wants it. I've worked with Howard for many years, and
I was just waiting to see who wanted to do it.
That's what I was waiting for.
If no one else volunteered, I was going to, but I would second Linda's appointment.
Time for that, or?
yes, I think it's important.
It's a worthy
It's
cause, for
important,
sure.
yes.
Okay, just make it non-partial.
Thank you.
Okay, with that done, we will have Linda be our appointee.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Mayor and council reporting. But let's talk about council discussion on consideration of a budget adjustment for the noisemakers out there in the cultural performing arts. Discussion. It's last year we gave them an extra $4,000.
Right.
And I said, I had told Will when we did that, I said, let's do it as a one-time thing and see how they handle it and which way they go. And I think they've proved themselves as being a viable group as far as putting things together and working with the community. And I would like to we're giving them 4, giving them a little bit more, whatever you guys prefer.
Right.
Another 4 or another 1 or another 10.
If it's in the budget, I'd agree with you. I think it's important for the public and the community. So, are you wanting to know how much you think? If we should double it from 4 to 8 or
just
4? Yeah.
So basically matching what we did last year.
Correct.
Yeah.
I agree.
Are we going to make that from,
We'll go year by year.
year by year? Okay.
It depends on how much money we got in the bank.
That's true.
So I just want to clarify the council direction based on the discussion. They have 4,000 in the budget now. In this action, there is a resolution attached to this action which will allow for the budget increase. So the staff report had said that we would bring back a a budget adjustment for future consideration, but that's already included in your packet, and so you can consider it. And so what I'm hearing is the council's direction is to increase that by another 4,000 for a total of 8,000.
Correct.
So I guess we just need a motion then to approve the resolution, and we'll fill in the amount for $4,000 on the resolution.
I'll make that motion, Will.
Mr. Mayor, we did have a speaker who wanted to speak on this item.
Yes, we do. Kathy?
Are you going to speak or are you going to sing?
Well, I'm going to try and speak. I've had some things written down, but since you've already discussed it,
Would you
first of all, thank
talk
you,
into
Mary
the mic,
Davis
please?
and
Can you
the
talk
City of
into the
California.
mic,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm usually loud, so I sing, so
Well,
you
our
probably don't want to
machines can
blow
hear
up
it
your
better.
speakers here. But I appreciate this very much. I'm Kathy Richard. I'm the Vice President of the Calimesa Cultural and Performing Arts Association, under the direction of Steve Negretti, who is the president. He is not able to be here tonight because he is in Seal Beach performing. Everything that you just discussed was what I was going to discuss, and you beat me to the punch, which makes it a lot easier for me to get up here and speak. And I thank you for that. And I thank you very much for your constant support. You guys have been fantastic. We definitely need the extra 4,000. Everything has gone up. The bands are charging a lot more now that we're out of COVID. They're probably trying to survive as best as they can. And Steve and I both, and our whole organization, is very grateful for the support that you've given us over the years. Mayor Davis, the City of Calimesa, the Event Center. We also get small donations on occasion from individuals, private individuals, and altogether it makes up a fairly decent amount that we can survive on, barely, to keep our concerts going. Our first concert, by the way, is going to be this coming Thursday, the 18th at 6:30 p.m. at the Event Center. And as everyone knows, it's free because we're nonprofit. And we do pass around buckets, of course, at halftime, and people are very, very kind to donate. We just get by every year. It's been tight. And we do the best we can to be as thrifty as we can. A lot of us pay things ourselves out of our own pockets that are on the board as a contribution as well. So Steve just wanted to make sure that you knew how much he appreciated, and myself, of course, I appreciate you guys, by sending this message to me. And I pretty much touched on most of what he has put on here. But basically, he's just very grateful for the support that you've given our organization and myself as well. And we need to have the funding raised to 8,000. You've already discussed it. This is just a letter from him. We're finally getting back on our feet as an organization and have a tremendous lineup of entertainment. Our bands, we have 8 bands, and they're all great. And we have a nice variety, so it'll satisfy everybody's taste in music. The 2024 concert series is going to be fantastic. The first one, especially, because that's the big one. And it's going to be big. Steve's put together a band himself of a lot of professional musicians, singers, entertainers, to entertain our public, our community. And I think everybody's going to be very impressed with our selection of bands this year. I can't thank you enough. I'm going to be quiet. Thank you again. We appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. What time do they start?
I'm sorry, 6:30.
Okay, thank you.
6:30, and it usually goes till 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll go to mayor and council members reporting.
We just need to approve the resolution.
Give me a motion.
Well, Linda wanted to do it, but go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, okay. Adopt Resolution 2024-46, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Calimesa, California, amending the fiscal year 24-25 budget to include an adjustment in the Community Services Community Partnerships account in the general fund.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now, mayor and council members reporting of county and regional meetings. John? Good man. How about you, Linda?
long stretch between council meetings.
I can see.
Yes, I'll try to be brief, but it's all important.
You don't have to explain, just do it.
Okay. So, on June 19th, we had popsicles in the park at 4th Street Park. It was fantastic. The kids are still talking about it. And we're having our second popsicles in the park at Summerwind Park on Thursday, 1 o'clock. On, try to go in date order here. Okay, I mentioned that. On the 20th of June, several of us attended the WCOG General Assembly at Pechanga. It was a very nice event, and supporting our Mayor Pro Tem on sitting in that committee. On the 23rd, the Lions had a big event at Summerwind Park. It was very, very hot. We had our installation of officers and had 4 or 5 tents all tied together, and it gave us shade. It was really nice. On the 23rd, which was the same day, Art Welch was celebrated at the Four Seasons. It was a well-turned-out event, and he's done so much for so many people. It's hard to imagine that he's gone now. On the 24th, I attended RCTC's Budget and Implementation Committee, where they approved funding for intercity rail and transit, and also the ad hoc committee voted not to move forward with the ballot initiative for this year's election in November. On the 27th, I attended a LAFCO meeting. It was unique at this meeting because there are 2 alternates. I'm one, and there's another one. They used both of us because they needed a quorum. And so, interestingly enough, we had Calimesa was on the agenda for the annexation of Champions Drive from Calimesa to Beaumont. That'll probably be heard in October. So it was an informational item on that agenda, as well as other items. There were quite a few. On the 27th of June, RTA had their executive committee meeting and board meeting where they approved executive items, and they're doing, RTA is doing a program where they empower employees by celebrating professional empowerment. And so what that does for organizations is lets people meet each other employees who they normally don't meet in their day-to-day work, and it empowers them. It's great for upward mobility. It's a great program. They're doing very well. On July 4th, our Lions clubs put up flags all along the boulevard in Calimesa and Yucaipa. On July 8th, we had our groundbreaking, another very hot day for the 4th Street Park. The families, I've been talking to them all summer at the lunch program. They're excited about having the full park next year. RCTC had their commission meeting on July 10th. Their transit traffic relief plan, I always mess that up, was discussed. And again, we decided not to move forward with an initiative to put a tax measure on the budget. Our margin of success was too narrow, it was too expensive to move forward without doing that, so we're probably looking at the next election. On July 8th, Darlene and I attended the Riverside County Division member meeting that we were going to have here, but we had it at Tuckwet. And we had some members from the San Bernardino Division come. We had 3 great speakers, Chad Bianco with Riverside County, our Riverside County Sheriff, Travis Newport, which is the Assistant Sheriff for San Bernardino, and then Jennifer Garcia from the District Attorney's Office. And most of the discussion was on how they're going to repeal 47. They're working on trying to get more enforcement back to, for criminals to be charged with crimes and such. A big thing. Also, July 19th, I've been doing the Lunch in the Park program this year. This is our last week. We've served 992 children. Our average is about 50 per day. And tomorrow, the Riverside Public Health is coming out. We also had Old Grove Farms bring fruit to the kids. It was a really great day. And I reminded everyone that we're having popsicles in the park at Summerwind, because they'll probably drive over there. And just a notice, on August 17th in Beaumont at the Chatney Senior Center, there's a Vet Expo. This happens every year, so if you can get out there and support veterans, that's fantastic. But I'd like to ask for a future item for a future agenda, and that is to bring back discussion on the ordinance for stipends for council members. Every city is doing that. I know it's a big issue, especially around budget time, but a lot of council persons spend a lot of their own money. I spend a lot of my own money as well. We're employees of cities, but, we don't have the perks that employees have, which is, constant raises. And so I'd like to bring that back for a future meeting to bring that forward again. And that's it. Thank you.
We can look at that last one.
Thank you.
So just clarification, because the state law, is that better?
Yes.
State law changed just recently to increase the ability of council members to increase their salary.
Yeah.
And we presented that to you, and so I think that's what you're talking about,
Yes.
is considering the salaries.
Yes,
And it would have to go into effect before November.
that's correct.
Okay,
And it's based on population, the increases by city.
definitely.
And it's
Okay.
also based on how much money you got in the bank.
That too. Thank you.
So that's a prime thing right there.
Thank you.
Okay.
And somebody pointed out that we have extra money, but there's a reason for it.
That's good.
Jeff?
Well, thank you for all the work you've done, Linda. I'm embarrassed to say that I don't have a report tonight, Mayor. I don't have anything from regional meetings to discuss.
Well, I want to talk to you sometime about seeing how we can work together with them to maybe build a road. So
Yeah.
I'm serious,
Yeah,
so.
let's have that conversation.
Sorry. I didn't have a WRCOG meeting. They were dark for July. They
Good.
had their general assembly, and then we had a meeting after that, and so I didn't have anything. I did go with Linda to the league, spoke a little bit. Will gave me a script, and I was happy for that, and
All right.
didn't have to think about what I had to say. It was great. Thank you, Will. And that's it.
And just a bit of trivia, August 14th, Fascination Ranch is going to be hosting a meet and greet and fundraiser for Ken Calvert. And you guys are all welcome if you want to get involved with his election campaign or what. He's looking to understand the locals. He has no, he's never been around Calimesa. And he, as a congressman, has done more for us in the last year than anybody has, and he's helped us with the Cherry Valley Bridge. He's just now, I talked to him the other day, and they haven't approved it yet, but it was just in line to approve another $5 million for County Line Road. So it's he has been a benefit, and I really want to support him. So.
What was that date again?
14th. Yeah, and it's during the day. It's a Wednesday. And I think it's from 10 to. They haven't set on a meeting with them tomorrow. We're going to discuss it, but he's wanting to meet the public, and he's also looking for funds, obviously. But even $10 helps. So.
He speaks very highly of you. He does.
Yeah, farm boy.
He does.
No, but that's all I've got to say, and then just be cool, and stay out of the sun as much as you can. Mr. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. My first item on my list, I'm actually going to hand it over to Darlene to give an update on the election, which the nomination period started today.
Yes, nomination period started today, and it will run through Thursday, August 8th at 5:30. If anybody would like to put their hat in the ring for City Council, the packets need to be picked up from the City Clerk's office. We ask that you make an appointment because we'd like to spend a little time with you, and allow for 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give you all the information you need to learn how to run for City Council and what your role will be as you take care through this nomination process.
How many pool papers today?
Nobody today.
Bummer.
So if you can call and make your appointment with myself or Yesa, and we will gladly meet with you and get started.
Okay, with that, I'm going to shut this thing down.
I do have a few more things, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'll be brief. I will be brief. One thing that I did hand out was a copy of kind of an idea for new street sign, a street sign redesign. Can we have the volume turned down a little bit? Thank you. One of our strategic plan goals is to improve community aesthetics. So, and to that end, we did redesign our logo about 2 years ago. However, our street sign standard still includes our old logo. So, passed out this draft just for kind of an initial review. I picked the brown color. It wouldn't be exactly this shade of brown necessarily, but I wanted to go for a more rustic look to kind of match more of our of what we kind of present ourselves as a city. So just take a look at these. Wow. It's not on the agenda, so we're not going to discuss it. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I think in the next meeting we're going to have this on the agenda. And then based on the feedback, we can update our street sign standard. So we'll bring that back for then your final approval. We don't plan on, this isn't a budget item or anything. We don't plan on replacing any signs right away. Have another standard, and I think it's a sign. Speaking of signs, but then at least all of our new development going forward will have the new standards, and as we replace signs on a normal basis, we would just replace it with the new model. So it's not a thing that we're going to go out and push and replace a bunch of signs with. It's just as they come up. I did want to announce that we are planning on moving Under the Stars, partnering with the Willamette Cherry Valley Recreation and Park District, and the event will be sponsored by Supervisor Exgen Gutierrez. We're tentatively scheduled to have the event on August 9th at Summerwind Park, and the movie will be Cars. So, Mr. Mayor, we're going to see if maybe you can bring out one of your classics to show off as part of the event. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That guy over there's got me beat.
Right, there you go. Our library groundbreaking will be July 31st at 10 a.m. at where the old library used to be at 974 Calimesa Boulevard. The event is being put on by the county as they are the lead agency, but we do invite the whole community to celebrate this major milestone. And finally, as we discussed earlier with the item for the Calimesa Cultural and Performing Arts Association, I think that one thing that staff is going to start looking at is maybe a more formal process in terms of how we fund nonprofits. We do have a number of nonprofits that we contribute funds to. The budget with this increase is now $20,240. So it kind of got us thinking about maybe that we need to have a review process, and because there may be other nonprofits that want to participate. UKIPA actually has an application process that seems to work pretty well, so it kind of gives us, something to explore. So we're looking to maybe do that for the fiscal year 26 budget. We'd work with the finance committee to figure out that process. So we may meet with you in the next few months to maybe discuss that. And with that, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to adjourn temporarily the meeting and move into closed session, and we will move on.
Thank you, Mayor. The closed session item is identified on the agenda pursuant to Government Code Section 549-56.8. The City Council will now go into closed session to have a conference with its real property negotiators with respect to the property identified on the agenda.